Some like it hot. Reading a recent stolen food PR reminded me I too have a similar life experience to share. True story. I had taken an R&D internship for a food company over the summer in Keokuk, the armpit of Iowa for those unfamiliar. For housing accommodations, the company had set me up in the local college dorm that was previously a retirement home, so it basically had individual rooms and bathrooms, but one large commercial kitchen. It was summer and the school didn't have a summer program, but allowed 2 fall students to move in at the beginning of the summer. One was rarely there, but the other was constantly in the building and oftentimes had multiple friends over. Given the kitchen setup, we all stored our food there, and it's a pretty no-brainer you shouldn't take from others, but immediately I had various food items going missing or being consumed regularly. Sodas, empty boxes of cereal put back on the shelf, etc. I initially posted a sign on the fridge to not eat others' food and also confronted both about having food go missing after the sign was up. But it didn't stop whomever from stealing my food, particularly when I'd head out of town for weekends. After complaining about the situation to my manager during my job, they helped formulate the perfect pro-revenge. Given I was doing R&D work on food products, I was responsible for getting various ingredient samples to use for new recipes. My manager suggested I get some capsaicin extracts for my research, even though we weren't doing anything in that realm for flavor profiles. Well, I found a company that had various Scoville unit extracts, and I asked for a variety to see what worked best for our applications. Well, did they deliver with some small 2-ounce bottles of 50K, 100K, and 250K Scoville extracts. I ended up putting the 250K in a travel-sized spray bottle, mixed with some water to help as a carrier, and wearing gloves and a mask, borrowed from work, doctored the common food items being stolen with a liberal spraying of my mixture. Mainly cereal, chips, crackers, jug of milk, and the lip top of a few soda cans. For the snacks, I actually put some into a separate bag and left them open to dry before mixing back into the original packaging. I did this in a different dorm room in my wing, as I know well enough how potent this can be in enclosed spaces. I did this right before another trip out of town, and when I returned, I found some of the chips and cereal and milk was missing, plus 2 of the 3 cans of soda I had doctored. I never got to see the result, and no one ever said anything, but none of my food went missing for the remaining month of my stay. I hope the experience was enlightening for them, and they still remember the time they played with. Yellow Cottage says on the comments, roommates can be weird. One time I shared a house with 2 people, and each month we'd go through our phone bill, this was before mobiles, and mark which long-distance calls were ours. And then we'd each pay our proper share. Because the phone was in my name, they both gave checks or cash to me. It worked well for many months until... One month, it was day before bill was due, and one roommate still hadn't paid their share, which was not wholly unusual. Not every month, but sometimes. Note that they were often away for more than a day as they stayed at a partner's place for the night. Anyhow, I put a note on the bill that said, "Hi name. Just a reminder the phone bill needs to be paid tomorrow, so please leave a check if you're not going to be around. Thanks." About 2 hours later, I'm at work, and I see them walk into the office and look around, locate me, and then walk over to my desk, where they proceed to tear the phone bill and the note into little pieces, drop it all on my desk and practically yell, "You do not tell me what to do." Then they walked out. My boss came over and asked what's that all about. I said I haven't a clue. I just left them a note saying the phone bill is due. That evening, I was sitting watching TV and they came home. They went into the kitchen, made a pot of coffee. They'd drink 4 or 5 strong pots of coffee every day, which didn't help the situation. And then they came into the TV room and sort of mumbled a kind of apology and said they might have come on a bit strong this morning. Yeah, okay. Lunch thieves just desert years ago. I had a lunch thief. About the 12th time complaining to HR about people stealing my lunch. Mandatory reporting every 3rd or 4th instance. I was seething, not a damn thing was being done, and I still had to go buy something to eat. I was bitching to my doctor at the yearly checkup, and he got a smile saying, "You're constipated then?" I was dumb and said no why. He wrote me a prescription for some holy fuck laxative with instructions to mix it in with your meal for maximum affect, at which point I knew the plan. I wish I could say they shat their pants, but no, they ate my sandwich with special avocado sauce. About an hour after lunch, I went to HR and reported 2 things. 1, my lunch was stolen again, and 2, my medication was stolen. Char, so you got hit by the lunch thief again, and your medicine was in the bag. Me. Yes, I have had some digestive problems, and my doctor prescribed a powerful laxative and advised me to mix it in with my midday meal. HR going white, you what? Me smiling. I mixed in a prescription-grade laxative with my food per doctor's orders. Well, being that stealing prescribed medication is a criminal offense, the police were called, and found the lead man from a department over absolutely shitting his brains out. He was furious and accused me of poisoning his food. I asked, "At which point did you get the idea that food was for you?" Continued. Furthermore, now I no longer have my medication I was prescribed for my condition. It was about this time he knew he fucked up and shut his mouth until he got a lawyer, or so I'm told. Small town. One of my buddies from high school took his position I can make and eat my hoagies, and I have no clue where Lunch Thief went after his fines and community service. Marine in the comments said, "Asshat Lunch Thief at one job I worked at was the best friend of the boss's son. The fucker was bulletproof, or so he thought. Complaints about him were ignored. Then he made the mistake of stealing the lunch bag that was clearly marked by a diabetic associate, and she had her insulin in it. She called the cops. Thief got busted with it and ended up going to prison because he had prior convictions and was still on probation. She later sued the owner of the company and won several $100,000s for ignoring the asshole's behavior for months.